it up, let's go!
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to the discount. Today is February 23rd, 2023, and you're looking at a SPY chart, or the S&P 500. Another pretty wild whipsaw day. It's Thursday, and we are riding the 50-period moving average. We are playing games with the fat round number of 400, and I want to show you something that really caught my eye today, and I should have saw this a little bit sooner. I would have waited, and I'm still learning, right? However, and always learning, as everyone should. However, the lesson for me personally today, if you go back into the notes, I really should have not been chopping around in the SPY today, and I should have waited for this level. Shame on me, because this level gave you everything you needed out of a day trade. And the service that I'm trying to provide here is really simplification of the day trading process, not overcomplication. And look, we took a normal loss on the SPY, and then we had a great winner in eBay. So it was a flat day, depending on how you executed. But this was an amazing level, and I want to show you this. Essentially, all SPY did was come down, tag this big trend line right here. It did close a candle below it, and I'll show you that the level I had called out on the day trade was 397.85. And it sliced through that like a knife through butter. And I'm like, all right, let's see what candles close. This ended up being a 15-minute candle close, which is what I like to wait for. A 15-minute candle close below 397, which was the stop. Give it a second, it pops back up. You're out for about $1. Normal loss, right? Nothing crazy. However, this line, that's all it did. It came down, pierced the 50-period moving average, and it came and tagged that line, which you're really close to risk at this point, and that's the level that I really should have waited for, a pierce of the low from yesterday, which was 397, which happens to be the level that we wanted yesterday. And I will show you how I posted this. At the end of the day, and this is what the market does all the time, this is where we wanted it, this bottom white level, and this is where, we are wrapping up our day right here. It didn't give it to us. But guess what? It came back down, tagged that important level, and gave you a $2 rip in the other direction. That's just what markets do. They want to frustrate you. They don't want to make things easy. But in any event, we continue on. So it was Thursday today, or it is Thursday today, and we got things underway. Now, for anyone that wanted, we'll go back to the chart here. I did call out 401.75 to 402.50 was a very reasonable short zone. The problem is, and if we go to a minute chart, we'll mess up my chart here. There we go. The problem is, and sometimes you got to stay away from these minute charts because they do tell a good job from a scalp perspective, but they also can whip you out mentally pretty damn well. Look what it did. It opened the day right near 401.75. It's way too close for me to want to do that because the risk is really getting all the way back up to 403.50. And the worst thing in the world is getting caught in a short when they've already been down, right, on the daily. They've already been in a downtrend. And, some traders are like, oh, well, they're in a downtrend. You got to follow the trend. Well, that's not necessarily the case, and especially not for day trading when you're supposed to just be getting small bites out of the market. The institutions, especially when it's hitting off this trend line, the 50 period, and it's so close to the 200, can be seriously buying this up. Would not be surprised on a Thursday all the way back up to 405.91. So when I'm looking at that, you don't want to get caught in that short, and especially if it opens right into the number like that. So I said, okay, what's reasonable is 402.50, right? Because then you can either have a double down zone if you really want that, or you just stop out at a buck on candle closes above 403.50. Easy. Well, it didn't give it to us, and it also started chopping into a bullish pattern, right? When it starts doing this, right? You don't and it starts chopping around, that means it's building energy. When it's so close, 402.25, when it's so close to the short and it doesn't get right into it, that means it's building energy to go higher. So then I start looking, okay, well, maybe I want 403.50 because it looks like it's just going to blow right through 402.50. In any case, it didn't. It failed. Okay, now we start looking at our longs. I had provided a few long opportunities, and again, I'm going to make sure moving forward that I'm a little less, a little less, I want to say hectic, but I'm calling out too many levels, and I just want to make sure that I'm for the SPY, because the day trades and the equities, and you'll see on eBay, we had a whopper today. But I want to make sure on the SPY that we're really only taking the best levels. Perhaps I will only take certain levels by myself, and that I don't narrate every single one of them, and that I really only provide the juiciest spots for the members. You can go back into the notes, which I will show you in a second here. Go back into the notes today. Read through what I was talking about, pull up a chart of the SPY, and look into what I was seeing, right? The pre-market thieves are on their way into the resistance zone. The more they do this, the higher I want. Well, that ended up being wrong, but you'll see in more videos how that always typically ends up being right. We want numbers to hit right away, right off the bat. Those are the best. We don't want chop below or above numbers. We want numbers to get hit right off the bat. In any case, I narrated what was happening. Now, here were the day trade setups today. If you could see them. Yes, you can. We had NVIDIA, eBay, TDoc, Bros, and you. Now, the benefits of being in this channel are when I get a sense for volatility and I get a sense for what's happening in the markets, are these equities that volatile, or are there better levels, or is there a better level that I can find? And I will update you guys in the chat with what I find. None of them hit their levels. However, I saw a new one on eBay, and I saw the volatility kind of dry in the VIX, and it was a kind of odd day with the SPY and the VIX. You didn't really know what was going to happen, but I saw eBay, and I got a new level on eBay that was a little bit higher. So let me get out of here. Here you are in the chat. Boom, eBay coming in. 4410 on eBay. eBay coming in. So you pull up your chart, and here was eBay. Now, this is a good lesson for anyone that wasn't following around my notes for the SPY today. Good for you. Just kidding. please do take the trades, paper trades, of course, as I call them out, because although we may lose on the SPY, right? Let me pull this back to a 10-minute. Although we did take the wrong trade on the SPY today, again, over time, we got 255 trading days in a year. Over time, these trades are going to pay out, and it's going to lead to, depending on your execution and your emotion management and your position sizing, it's going to lead to either extra income or potentially what you can make a full-time job out of. Okay. Now, we took that dollar loss on the SPY, but we made up for it on eBay. So my joke was, if you didn't listen to me on the SPY, but you caught eBay, good for you, because this was a whopper. Now, obviously, you can take the full trade off here. Probably only looking for about 50 cents. And I had called that out in the room. So 1 for 1. Now, if you want to make it $1,000, enter at 410, 44.10, and any candle close. And again, we're not doing hard stops. That's not the strategy. You are, or I am, day trading with money that I can afford to lose. And I'm not going to get automatically stopped out of a position, because that doesn't mean it's wrong. It means that the institutions found your liquidity, they went and got it, and they rip it back in the other direction. It's only wrong with candle closes. That means the market's signaling it wants to go lower. So you're entering at 44.10, rocket ride. You can either take the full position off, which I like to do. In this case, I did only because I really did not have a good grasp on the VIX and the SPY and what the rest of the markets were doing. I was not sure if they wanted to go lower or not. So once I saw this happen, I took it off the table and said, thank you very much. It was also 12:30. This is a morning business. It's not healthy to be behind the screens all day. So there you go. 12:30, you just checked out my notes for a few hours, whether it's full time or you got a remote job and you got Telegram up on the left screen, you got a chart up on the right. All right, what's he doing? Oh, 410, let's take a trade. Boom, we're out. $200, $1,000, $5,000, 10,000, whatever you want. Okay. So again, on the SPY, that just goes to show you can't catch it all. Would have been amazing. I'm usually very good at connecting trend lines like this. It was staring at me in the face. For a day trade, I did not think about it. So can't get them all. So now, another lesson that I just want to share is being robotic with your discipline, because it is very easy. And I can't tell you how many times the first year or so trading like this, how many times, and even to this day, I take a level and this thing just starts, it's like catching a knife, right? Like they call it. This thing just starts dipping, and you think that the bottom is just going to fall out from under you. But what the market is doing, it's heading to a destination, and it's going to test that destination. If you would have stayed, and I know whoever took this trade might have thought the same thing. Oh my God, it's falling out from underneath me. It's going all the way to 394, what have you. If you stay robotic, right, and you didn't close out until this candle, you're out on $1. And the same thing goes for eBay. Now, the problem and the lesson here is when this happened, you're out $1, whether that's $100, $5,000, whatever it is. you're out $1 on this trade, and eBay didn't work out yet. So here you are, $1 loss because you follow the rules and you're robotic. Here you are, underwater with a closed loss on SPY, and underwater on eBay thinking SPY's going down because I just closed out of it, and this thing must be going with it because pretty much all markets move together. And that would have been very, very wrong. So if you just follow your process robotically, okay, I'm doing a 1-for-1 risk reward, only taking the best setups. If I get 3 trades a week, whatever, if those trades are 70 to 80, sometimes 85% winners, and I do a simple 1-to-1, you start to get comfortable. Maybe this month I'll do $100 risk reward. Maybe next month I'll do $200 risk reward. And it just keeps going as you get comfortable, where you don't have to be in a trade every single day. Maybe you only need to be in a trade 3 times a week for this particular strategy, but you're logging in like it's a sport every single day, in uniform, ready to go, and you have that opportunity to make money. Now, it's important because I need to teach myself this, and that's why, or continue to teach myself this and put it into or nail it into my brain. And for those who are new, it's so important that you follow this process robotically. It never even touched, let alone close candles below the stop level, right? You're looking for 50 cents approximately out of this trade. Didn't even touch it. But you were out on this. So, in any event, follow the process. It's very hard to do mentally, but if you follow the process over time, it will work out. And that's just the psychology behind this strategy that you really have to understand and make sure every day is a new day, and over time, compounded, this works. So, hope you guys had a great day. I think that, and it doesn't really matter what I think, but the way that SPY closed today, this is it's not super bullish, but it's signaling that this was obviously an important spot. Just like I've been saying, it's testing some important stuff. I was actually entertaining call options down here. It did not get here. So we will see what it does. I would not be surprised if it just continues chopping like this, maybe pops up, fills that gap, and then does one of these numbers, right? Because this is kind of going to be turning into one of these bearish wedge-ish type of things where it wants lower. Perhaps, and this is just a perhaps, but perhaps SPY and pretty much all the markets are eating time off the clock above this big trend line in order to make a bigger move downwards that's more convincing. That is certainly possible. Because if it just went right in here, that would be a beautiful long opportunity in my opinion. But now it's going to chop around, or at least it's looking like it's chopping around. And when it does that, it means it's building energy to go lower. So just something in the back of my mind and what I'm looking at from a bigger move perspective in some of my swing trades. For day trading purposes, we don't care, and we'll take it from there. I'll be back tomorrow morning. As you guys see, the link to the live day trading Telegram room is in the description. It is also in my Twitter. If you have any issues finding it, just let me know. But it is here. All all the rules as well. You can see here, I give pretty basic rules. I don't have a basic education for trading 101. I will create that at some point, but this is really for the people that have a basic understanding, at least, of trading. They have a system like a Thinkorswim or maybe TradingView with a broker, and they can understand. And please feel free to message me with any questions on how the rules are formulated and anything else. But very straightforward. And again, we will be back here in uniform, ready to go every single morning. And hopefully you guys are seeing some value out of this moving forward. So thank you again, guys. See you on the charts.